Why does Adderall become less effective over time, or Vyvanse or Ritalin? If you've been on these meds for any length of time, you'll realize that eventually you start creeping up on the dosage that you take. And why does that happen? Because you actually build a dopamine tolerance. Your brain actually will just realize what's creating dopamine for it. And now it gets to the point that it starts needing a stimulant to create dopamine. You're not going to naturally create dopamine anymore, especially on a higher dosage of a stimulant med. And there's natural things that create dopamine. Sleep helps create dopamine, working out, things that bring you joy. I mean, these are things that naturally get your brain to produce dopamine, where a stimulant med comes in and actually creates dopamine. That's why you have the focus. That's why you're able to get stuff done. It gets rid of that inner dialogue. Now, a lot of times with people, they end up increasing their ADHD meds as they go through essentially life. And the reason that happens is, are you taking your ADHD meds every day? The thing with ADHD meds is stimulants aren't designed to build up in your system like an SSRI. SSRIs, if you ever read antidepressants or serotonin reinhibitors, they'll say they're not effective until about 30 days into use. And the reason why is it has to compound and build into your system, where a stimulant does not have to compound and build in your system. A stimulant, if it compounds and builds in your system, it builds a tolerance now. Where with something like an antidepressant, it needs that over time to help get your body where it's producing essentially store-bought happiness with serotonin. So if you are finding that you start increasing the dosage, take a break of your ADHD meds. Give them a couple days off in between uses. I take the weekends typically off of taking ADHD meds, and that allows me where I don't build a tolerance. And it is amazing when that happens, because you're never increasing in the dosage of your ADHD meds, and you still naturally build and produce dopamine. It's one of the key things that when you are going through the trial and error, especially of ADHD, that it's something I wish I would have known. I got diagnosed with ADD at 13. I got re-diagnosed with ADHD at 17. I've been on Adderall for a long time. I've had most of my experience with Adderall XR, and with Ritalin. I'm going to do some videos on sharing on the differences of those. But ultimately, this is a huge tool for me. I do appreciate what Adderall brings to my life and the focus that it brings. But also I know to respect it and how to work it so that I don't build a tolerance to it. And this is something I wish I would have known when I first got onto the meds.